Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm out in the garden today and I'm going to do an end of September, end of summer little garden tour for you. It's going to be a little different because I'm actually going to go through with you like what my plans are to put the garden to bed for fall and winter, and just take you around and show you just the different areas that I've planted this year and what they're looking like and what my plans are for the next few months. Alright, so we're out here on the patio, which is where we always start, and this wisteria is actually doing really well. I just need to trim off these little tendrils before they attached to the house, and then I'll be cleaning up this area. There's a clematis back here that'll need to be cut down to the ground, and then these leftover lilies, and then over here, I don't know if you can see it because of the shadow, it's actually, the sun's coming out finally. This clematis will be cut down to the ground, as well this wisteria that I don't want to grow on this side. But maybe I do. I don't know. It might be good. We're trying to like make it so it doesn't go through this lattice so that it won't destroy the lattice when it gets hard and when it the trunk grows thicker. Like, we've trained this side to not grow through the lattice. We just held it up with some twine, as you can see right here. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a project because we used to have a beautiful one that went all the way over from here, actually, and then it just died. So I'm not really sure. I mean, obviously it didn't die because everything that's growing is shoots from that plant. So I don't know. I kind of am bummed because, like, I wish this side would have been growing before this side because we would have just had it grow back up again, but anyway. Alright, and then we're over here, this section right off the patio. As you can see, I've been deadheading and pulling a few dead plants out. We actually got a few more strawberries from this pot this last month or so. They were delicious. And this lavender does not look good. It's looking the leaves are looking very pale, so I'm just gonna like trim it up for the winter. I do see some new growth on it, so I'm gonna make sure I leave all that. But yeah, I had one in a similar pot over here where I planted zinnias, and it died. It was the same variety, so I have a feeling that that's what's happening with this one. So who knows, we might need something else to plant there next spring. So look at the cosmos. This is actually a cosmos, and I don't see any blossoms on it yet, but I planted that from seed. It's very impressive. I mean, all of these are planted from seed, so look at how tall they are. But these tall ones are actually starting to get blossoms, which is very exciting. It's so whimsical and so beautiful and wild in here, which is what I really wanted. And then we've got a dahlia here that's just, he's about to pop, so, but it's beautiful. This is one of the ones that I got from my dad's garden, and it grew a lot of foliage, but I've only gotten one other bloom off of this one, so I think maybe it was the transplant that did that, but I'm just super excited about the two flowers that I got off it. So, you know, hopefully next year it'll do better. These cosmos are just so wild and beautiful, and I made a cut flower bouquet and put it in the kitchen. There's these down here, which I think that big one that I first showed you, I think that's what these, let's see if it'll focus, there we go. I think that's what's gonna bloom on this one, so I'm excited because I'm hoping the flowers will be bigger too. They're just such a pretty color. And then I think my echinacea are on their way out, so I'm going to be cutting these down to the ground. I think my next video will probably be a garden cleanup. or it might be a little bit of decorating stuff, because you guys will learn I love decorating for Halloween and for fall and for Christmas, so that's going to be shared on here as well. But the zinnias are looking super great. They've just performed so well for me this year. I'm very excited. And these ones in this pot have done really well. We've got our oregano down here that I'm going to chop down and then dry for the winter months. And then this pepper, I've gotten 3 big ones off of it, but I think since it's the end of the season, I'm not going to get anything else off of it, so that's okay though. The 3 peppers that we had were delicious. They're sweet Italian, and I might get some seeds for it for the garden next year to see if we can get them to grow from seed. The sage here is looking really healthy. And then these garlic chives have flowered, so I'm just going to leave it until the flowers are done and then just chop it down at the bottom. These grow back every year. And then there's some sage there as well. A lot of calendula in here that some probably could use to be taken out, and honestly I've let a lot of stuff go to seed because I just want this area full of flowers. And underneath are more strawberry plants, and to be honest I think I might just remove those and like get rid of them because they haven't really performed that well and the slugs always get to them. This thing is where it's at because they're not laying on the ground, but I don't know, but this area will be cleaned up. This is a Cosmo as well, but it blew over, and so I've had to prop it up. The bottom branches, though, I think I'm just going to cut those off to see if it'll put more energy into creating like buds, so we can get some flowers off of it. But yeah, I came out here and I was like, no. The peonies from spring, they're still up. I like to do that because I I want them to get as much energy as they can so that they can create more for us next year. But these are about ready to be taken out. I have some on the side of the house and some at the front of the house that also need to be cut down to the ground again for winter, but that'll be in the cleanup video as well. But yeah, everything is just still looking beautiful, but definitely is coming to the end of the season. And now we're over here in the raised bed garden. I've harvested several carrots, but a lot of the ones that are left are really small, so I'm just going to leave them and see what happens. I should be able to pull some maybe later in fall, but if not, they'll be good in the ground for spring, and they'll actually get a little sweeter because the sugars in them get more concentrated when it gets cold. I planted, you can see here, that's like chaos radishes. I just just flung them everywhere. These 2 zucchini plants, they grew, but then they didn't really produce anything. Like there's a flower, but that's not going to do anything for me. I think it's because this area is a little more shaded than this one. So next year I might switch, like make this my squash bed and then put some tomatoes over here, and then definitely a pepper in the wine barrel next year to see how it does. These golden nuggets, they have produced a lot for me this year, and I really love the determinate variety. They're not as wild as these ones, so they're more, I just felt like they were more manageable, and the tomatoes are really good, so I'm definitely going to stick with that variety, and then we'll just get to that in a little bit. But I've got I let cilantro go to seed here, but I don't see any sprouting for fall yet. The herbs are looking good. We've got a volunteer tomato here. and a volunteer tomato here. And I don't know about you, but when volunteers want to grow, I just don't have the heart to pull them out, so I've left them. This one has some blossoms on it, and that one actually has some tomatoes, so I'm just gonna leave them until I'm ready to pull all the tomatoes out and see what happens. The marigolds in this bed are still looking really beautiful, and then there's some zinnias that have been blooming. I have more radishes on this side, and my basil is looking really great. I'm gonna harvest all that too when it's time to take everything out, and then dry it for the upcoming months, and maybe have one last tomato salad for the summer. And then this area is just wild. I've still got a ton of these sweet cherry 100s coming. So I'm gonna get out here. We're supposed to have rain coming up, so I need to get out here in the next few days and harvest as many tomatoes as possible. The peppers are doing well. There's still a few growing, and I think I'm gonna leave the ones that have peppers on the plants to grow still, and when it's time, I think I'm just gonna rip out the ones that don't have any peppers or have blossoms on it, because it's definitely not gonna happen for them. I'm gonna leave this parsley because it just is wild and it's looking really healthy, and it really likes this spot. So we have some of these cayennes. I'm gonna let them ripen, and then this plant is done, it looks like. And then these Thai chilies, and then we've got some green bell peppers here. And it looks like I'm going to be getting a few more beans. It's got some blossoms here, but these definitely aren't looking the healthiest, and they have these nasty bugs all over the leaves, and they look like stink bugs. I'm not sure what they are, but I'm just leaving them, and then when I pull it out, I'm just going to cut them off at the bottom and leave the roots, because they will put nitrogen back into the soil, and it's good for the worms and stuff. I did have some big tomatoes on this plant here, but a squirrel got to them when we were camping, so that was tragic. They've got some growing up here, but these are done, so they're gonna get pulled out right away. But I do have these here that are just starting to blush, and then that one down there that I'm keeping an eye on. It's looking really good, so I think it'll be ready to harvest hopefully in the next day or two. But if I need to harvest it before the rain, so it will get harvested within the next day or two. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't want it to crack. It's an heirloom variety, so they're definitely prone to that. But these, I think, they're starting to blush. But honestly, tomorrow the high is 77, and after that the temperatures are dropping down to the mid to upper 60s. Doesn't bode well for tomatoes, really, so these will be pulled out very soon. Hopefully I'll be able to get one more tomato salad off of these plants. My chives here have gotten some more flowers, which is really exciting. I'm going to be using those for some salads this week. My rosemary is looking good. My blueberry plant is starting to go dormant. I love the colors on these leaves. That one back there, as you know, with this one, this one did not produce any blueberries this year. So I'm hoping if I keep putting a little bit of coffee grounds in there, that it will do something for me next year. But we'll see. This is my oldest plant. It looks pretty healthy though, so time will tell. Time will tell. This trellis, definitely won't be using. It's broken. The tomato plants did a number on it. I won't be using it next year, but this one that I made out of chicken wire this year, I'm definitely gonna reuse, and then I'll just roll it up for the winter and store it behind our shed. It's so pretty out today. I love this little area. It's very magical under here, under this tree. It's not a willow, but it does, like, all the branches come down. It's just really pretty. And then our lovely Japanese maple under here is so big. It's looking like it needs to be trimmed a little bit, but we haven't really touched it this year, and I kind of love it. Now we're coming over here to the squash patch. If you were following over on Instagram, we went camping, and then I came back and I was able to harvest like 5 huge squash, and that was very exciting. These have produced so well for me this year, and I could not be more grateful. But they're starting to get those signs of powdery mildew. These patty pans have actually got some new growth here, and we've got several little squash coming. So I'm gonna leave, I think I might leave these. I might cut off, actually for most of them, I'm gonna cut off the sick leaves and see if that will help, if they can get another burst of squash. That'd be great. This guy especially, he's produced the most of any plant that I have, and some of his leaves are not looking so good. So I'm gonna cut those off and give him a little boost. Maybe put some get some compost and put them around him. See if that a little feeding will do the trick for them. This golden nugget, I'm not gonna get anything off of this one, so I'm definitely gonna be pulling this one out right away. And I think these 2 plants as well are done, so they might be pulled. Actually, well, I see one, but the tip is yellow, so I don't think he's gonna be very good. Yeah, I don't see any others coming, and I don't know. These calendula need to be taken out. I'm letting things go to seed a lot, but I don't want, like, I have a ton of calendula seeds that I've saved, so I just need to get these pulled out. Maybe there's some birds will come by and eat some. This Cosmo has started blooming, which is really, really beautiful. I propped it up. But look at how beautiful these are. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's kind of like there's white, but there's like a blush of pink on them. Definitely beautiful, and I'll definitely be saving seeds from these. And then my hollyhock, these leaves look really healthy, but the winter is coming, so I don't know if I need to do some research if I should like cut those down until spring, so they can regrow in spring. Some foxgloves. There's a foxglove here. The daylilies from my dad's yard are really loving this area, which I'm happy about. But yeah, calendula needs to be taken out. We need to do a little bit of weeding in here, and then this bed will definitely, once everything's done, will be ready for winter. I kind of let it go wild during winter and then just weed. But these trees above it have lots of leaves, so they tend to cover everything, so it doesn't get too bad, actually, which I'm very thankful for. End of summer. This little guy, he's got some, but looks like someone's partaking in my peppers, and to be honest, these were just put here because I didn't have space, so they can have at it. And then this over here is looking so beautiful, especially the marigolds. This golden nugget still has quite a few tomatoes on it, so like green tomatoes, so maybe we'll get a few more ripening on here. We've got a few down here that need to be harvested, and then there's also beautiful basil in here as well that can be harvested. It's so lovely, so lovely. I love growing something right here. Like, it's by itself, but it's just like you can see it from the kitchen, and it's a blast of color with the marigolds, and the fact that you can grow a tomato plant and basil in the same pot is just, I love it. I love that. I love how wild it looks. And then these guys are on their last legs, so they'll be cut down to the ground like last year. These calendula are still holding on, which I'm very impressed by. And I got, like, when they go to seed, I kind of just like toss them in the back to see if I'll get any calendula naturally in here next year. This little plant, he's not looking very well. I think I need to just trim off some of this dead. These were beautiful. I wish I would have got them on camera. They always come at the end of the summer, and that's how I know when the seasons are changing or when these come up. So we'll definitely cut these down, and they'll come back next summer. This bush is starting to change color, which is really exciting. Such a lovely day today. And then this bed I have put to bed. I put some compost on it. I put leaves on it. I've watered it in. I think I might put some. I think I might be putting some cardboard on top or something. I'm trying to like drum up more life in this soil because this bed just has not produced for me like I would like it to. It gets a lot of morning sun, which is perfect, but it just, I don't know, things just haven't done well in it. So hopefully we can nurse it to health, and next year we can have more vegetables in this patch. And then if we come over here, this is my little wildflower experiment. Wasn't as successful, and I think, which also may be part of the reason that this hasn't been very successful, is this very large tree, because he sucks up all of the water, and so these flowers don't get, when I water over here, they don't get as much water as I'm giving them. So I might try and do some composting over here and put like some manure, some more organic matter to see what we can do. Definitely more organic matter in here. I really want to get a compost bin so that I can start making my own compost for the garden, but we haven't decided on what kind we want. But I think that'll be really beneficial for the garden next year. And yeah, what I would really love next year is to grow my own pumpkins for decorating. I have never grown pumpkins before, but I'm trying to figure out where would be the best spot, and I'm really thinking actually that this bed is probably the best spot for pumpkins because it gets the most sun, and I can let it trail out into the walkways, and I just think that's like the only, well, maybe not the only good spot. I probably could plant a pumpkin over here and have it trail on the stones. But yeah, that's my dream. I want to plant like some small varieties and maybe like a princess pumpkin or something, a Cinderella pumpkin, I think that's what they call them. But everything is just looking very tired and at the end of its season, and it's always kind of sad for me, but I love fall and winter. Like, I love the festivities at the end of the year and everything, but pulling my garden out is like really sad for me. But I've got plans for next year, and I'm really excited to bring you along for those. And there's going to be a lot more garden adventures on this channel. Well, I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for coming along on this summer's garden adventures. It's been so fun to share it, and I'm glad that I have like a little bit of a diary to look back on. over the winter when I get sad and want to be out in the garden. But I'm going to be using the fall and winter to learn as much as I can. I just want to expand my knowledge of gardening and learn more about soil and soil health so that the abundance this year can be matched or exceeded next year. That was my whole thing at the beginning of the season, was I just really wanted a lot of abundance, and I think that I got that. I've gotten the best harvests that I've ever gotten any summer that I've been gardening, and that's just a testament to continued learning and trial and error. And I'm just really excited that I was able to share that with you guys and have that little record to look back on. As far as the next few months goes, there's going to be a few more garden videos because we need to put the beds away, or put everything to bed for the fall and winter, and there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done that I want to share with you. But I am starting something really exciting on the 1st of October, and you'll be able to follow along on my blog. It's something that I did last year, and I'm very excited because I have so much fun things planned for this year. But there's going to be like a decorate with me for Halloween, a decorate with me for Christmas, hopefully, and I'll be sharing some DIY stuff, at least the process, and then you'll be able to see some of it on the blog as well. And I'm looking forward to a really cozy and really fun holiday season with my family and my friends, and I hope to bring you along with everything that goes with that. So I hope that you're having a great day wherever you are, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really supports my channel. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss more gardening videos, and also all the fun holiday things that I have planned coming up. So that's it for me today, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.